Hi everyone, welcome back to my channel. I'm Tiffany Benson, one part of Team Benson, and today we're going to plant some seeds. That's right, let's start filling this garden up with tons of seeds so we get tons of veggies. So first and foremost, guys, thank you so much for everybody that has subscribed to my channel. It seems like we are getting more and more subscribers every single day, and this is really exciting for me because being able to share my content with you guys, it means a lot, and it's a lot of fun. It's a lot of fun to get you guys' advice and also to give advice to those that are new gardeners or those that just enjoy gardening and want to see something different in a different climate. So I just want to say a big thank you guys to everybody that's subscribed, and if you are part of the 30% that watch my videos that haven't subscribed, subscribe. Just hit the big red subscribe button. You'd be very, very grateful. Thank you guys. So let's start gardening. I have some important things here. I have the tags so that I don't forget what I planted because that happens all the time. I have a dibbler, which is going to let me dig holes in the ground a lot easier. And then also down here, I just have tons of seeds. So first I want to show you guys what I have going on inside. So I'm going to pop inside real quick and let you guys see. Okay guys, so just really quick, this is what I have going on in here. And as you can see, I have just like little grow lights, and I have some bok choy. I have radishes. I have, let's see what that is, cilantro, dill, and then I have some cabbage, some Swiss chard. My celery is still yet to come up, and then I have some turnip greens and some lettuce. And so these are starting to get pretty gnarly. Oh, I lost focus. The radishes are starting to get pretty gnarly, so I'm gonna get those outside in the ground. Actually, you know what? I think I'm just gonna take them with me. So I was thinking about bringing the radishes out, but then I thought about it and I was like, well, it's kind of warm. Like maybe I should actually let them continue to grow a little bit and kind of just let them grow in there, and then I'll let them grow out here and kind of actually harden them off. Sometimes I'm horrible at that. Sometimes when they get a little bit big, I throw them in the ground and typically it's fine, but I need to get better at hardening off my veggies. So I'm going to plant a few more of these. I'm going to show you guys the area that I'm planting these. These are the radish dragon tails. You actually eat the pod versus eating the root. So I'm going to show you guys where I'm planting these ones. I want to have a big like little bed full of them, and I'll show you guys after I get through all the ones that I'm planting. Then the dreaded carrots. I'm gonna plant some more carrots. I say dreaded carrots because for those of you guys that grow carrots just on the regular, you have to have the most patience of like anything, because carrots take forever to grow. And I always pull up these little bitty nubs of carrots that I'm just like, come on, because I pull them up too early because they take patience. So I'm gonna grow these in a space that's just kind of all by its own, and we're just gonna let that happen. We're gonna not pull them up too early this year. I'm making my promise that I'm not doing it, and you guys make a promise with me. Comment down below and say you're not gonna pull up your carrots too early. The next thing that I have that you can plant pretty much anywhere in your garden, because they only take like 20 to 30 to 40 sometimes days to be ready so that you can harvest them. And these are something that I'm going to start planting, and I'm just going to continue to plant all the way through probably around June. No, maybe May. But they are radishes. I have just the regular cherry bell radishes, and then I also have the French breakfast radishes. We love radishes. We love to roast them and have them with green beans, or saute them with green beans, or just do a garden roast and do squash and radishes and eggplant, different things like that. So if I can get my eggplants going, which they are flowering right now, and I can get my radishes growing at the same time, then that's going to be glorious. The next thing I have up here are just some scarlet red runner beans. Now these have either grown when I don't want them to grow, when I have other things there, or I've it's gotten too hot when I was growing them. So I've watched a couple of other channels that grow the scarlet red noodle beans, and they start planting them in hotter climates at this time. So I'm gonna plant them in the ground and see what happens. And then the next thing I have are some mustard greens. Now tomorrow I'm gonna officially move that tomato plant, as you guys will see when I get up here. I haven't moved it yet, but I'm gonna move that so that I can get my mustard greens just really going in that bed. And I have a couple of other things I'm gonna put in there too that are growing in the house. But my row cover should get here either Friday or Saturday. I ordered it off of Amazon, and I wanna get that whole thing in place, so I really need to move that tomato plant. Then I'm planting some snow peas. Now snow peas I love. If you guys watched my video, my garden tour that I did yesterday or 2 days ago, I talk about how we just use snow peas as like garden snacks, and it's true. We just come out here, we grab some snow peas, and we just snack on them. And I love that those are ones that are kind of vining that I can grow during like the winter time. So hopefully I can fill up my arches, because I really want my arches to be full and beautiful. And then these ones are going to be an experiment. So these are my Kentucky Wonder pole beans. Now, my Kentucky Wonders were doing amazing a couple of weeks ago. Well, about a month ago. And then they became the delicious snack of the rats and the voles. And I planted them 3 times, and they ate them all 3 times. So Kentucky Wonders usually pop up pretty soon, but the problem is that when it gets too cold, it will kill them. Now, we've been having really warm temperatures. Like, it hasn't been going below 50 this week, and it's been like 85, 86. We almost had a 90 day in there. So I'm thinking that maybe we're just going to have a warmer winter, which is what I'm hoping for. So I'm gonna go ahead and I'm just gonna plant these Kentucky Wonders and see what happens. Now, one thing you want to really consider when you have a small space garden is just valuable garden space. So where can you plant things that will grow, but can grow in crowded areas and just kind of fit things in where you can kind of get them to go in. So I'm going to show you guys a couple spots that I'm going to be planting stuff, and then I'm going to plan it out, but I probably won't show myself like planting it. Well, maybe a few things. So every year, this is the pot I grow carrots in, and I kind of move it around each year. And what you're going to want to do is you're going to make sure that the soil is really nice and broken up, because carrots do not like thick soil. So I have some potting soil in here, and I'm just going to really crumble it and really make sure that it's light and fluffy. Okay, so now that I have my soil really nice and loose, and all I did is I just really went in here with one of these little fork things and just kind of twisted and turned it to get it really nice and loose. So I'm just going to take a little bit of it out, and I'll show you guys why in a second here, and just sit that to the side. It's a nice little root in there, and then I'm just going to spread it out, and then I'm going to grab my seeds. Now, there's probably a better way to planting carrot seeds, but I find them completely small and tedious, and I want to make sure that they germinate. So what I do is I grow carrots in a pot because I sprinkle them over the soil. Okay? And if they become too close or anything like that, I can always just thin them out later and then just do that. And then I'm just going to take that soil, and since it has holes in the bottom, I can just shake it over top. And I want to shake you guys as well, so maybe I'll just grab a little bit and then just cover it with the top. Now, here's a little tip about carrot seeds. They do not like to dry out. If you dry out your carrot seeds, you will ruin them. So what I like to do is I simply take a paper towel and I lie over top of the soil, and then I water the crap out of it. And you always make sure that the paper towel doesn't dry out. And then once your seeds start to sprout and you start seeing little carrot sprouts coming up, then you just take the paper towel off and then just continue to keep them watered. So this is what it looks like. I'm just going to really make sure that I keep that paper towel warm or watered, and then eventually I'm going to pull up the paper towel once things start to sprout a little bit, and then watch the carrot seeds grow. actually learned that trick from YouTube. I saw a lot of Arizona gardeners planting their carrots that way because it helped for the carrots to be able to stay watered in such a dry climate. So if you live in a dry climate, try it. They use paper towel and they also use newspaper, so give it a shot. Now the plan, since I don't have a lot of open arch space, is to plant my Kentucky Wonders right alongside here of my Chinese red lung noodle beans. I'm not really sure if Chinese red lung noodle beans are gonna grow, so it's kind of like no harm, no foul if I have the Kentucky Wonders there too, since I'm also not so sure if Kentucky Wonders are gonna grow as well. So next up are the dragon tail radishes. Now I'm going to put one of those little gates like I have right back there, right alongside here, because these are supposed to get pretty tall. So I have one going in here. This is the only one that survived. I have 4 going inside, and then I'm just going to plant maybe like 2 or 3 more seeds in between here so I can ensure that I get a good solid crop of them and that this whole thing is really filled up with them. Sometimes planting in a small space is more like creative Legos because you're just kind of throwing stuff in there and seeing how much you can fit to where it maximizes the space and how much you can fit and it'll actually grow. It's kind of like a science that I get to test out every single year, because every single year I put things closer and closer and closer and closer together until I get a crop that's not as much as what I thought it should be. Let's also take a moment just to show off this melon. This little guy is either dying or it's turning. It's turning yellow, which usually they turn yellow before they turn brown. But the problem is that the plant itself is just pretty much a goner. So I'm letting it kind of stay on here and just see what happens. If anything, I'm probably gonna see if it'll give me some seeds. Now it's getting a little dark out, guys, so I'm just going to go over really quick where I'm going to plant the rest of everything else that I have down here on the floor. I have the snow peas in my hands, and I'm going to plant the snow peas. Well, let me just show you. So the plan is to put a row of snow peas here, and then also to put a row of snow peas there. And then I've also decided I'm going to put in maybe like 1 or 2 Kentucky Wonder seeds with this tomato plant, because tomato plant will get large but it won't go over the arch. So I'm going to plant just a couple of in there and see what happens. And then the last thing I'm going to plant are my scarlet red runner beans, and I'm going to plant them along that arch right there. And then the last thing I'm going to do is take a handful of radishes, both kinds. I'm just going to mix them up in my hand, and I'm going to go through and I'm going to plant radishes in every single open spot I can possibly find. I'm also going to put some radishes in these pots too as well. So I hope you guys are growing yourselves gardens, because right now it is an amazing time to grow if you live here in the desert. But until next time, grow yourselves a garden, because even a small space can provide you with tons of food. And don't forget to subscribe. Bye guys.